I would sign up to lose the final. That was the most striking version that began circulating after Luis de la Fuente's comments. A surprising statement, especially because it came from the man who was just one match away from becoming a world champion with Spain. The Spanish coach spoke to the media before the decisive clash against Argentina, and during a press conference filled with questions about Lionel Messi, the pressure, and the historic significance of the match, offered a reflection that quickly began circulating out of context. Is the Spanish coach really willing to lose to Argentina? Was it a sign of resignation, a way to take pressure off his players, or simply an unfortunate statement made at the worst possible moment? The full answer is less scandalous, but no less interesting. De la Fuente was talking about the privilege of reaching a World Cup final. The coach wanted to push back against the increasingly common idea in soccer that the runner-up achieves nothing and that the entire journey is automatically erased if the trophy is not lifted. That was when he delivered the full statement: "I would sign up to reach the final at every World Cup and lose it." His message was meant to emphasize the value of the journey. However, the phrase, "I would sign up to lose the final," was left hanging in the air just before facing an Argentina side that arrives with the experience of having won everything and with Lionel Messi once again as its greatest threat. And in a final, every word carries weight. Spain's coach tried to appear calm. He did not speak with arrogance or try to suggest that his team was clearly superior. On the contrary, he expressed enormous admiration for the Argentine national team, its recent titles, and the competitive strength it developed under Lionel Scaloni. De la Fuente also rejected descriptions portraying Argentina as a violent or unsportsmanlike team. He recalled that it is the reigning world champion, a team that also won 2 Copa America titles and the Finalissima, and praised Scaloni's work in keeping La Albiceleste among the elite for so many years. That defense of Argentina was significant because during the build-up, different voices tried to create the impression that Spain would face an opponent focused on disrupting play, provoking, and dragging the final into uncomfortable territory. The Spanish coach did not buy into that narrative. De la Fuente believes Argentina is much more than intensity, character, or experience. He sees a talented national team, with players capable of controlling the ball and multiple resources to change the course of a match. He also believes there are similarities between the two teams: 2 coaches who trust the collective, technically gifted players, and an identity that does not depend exclusively on one individual. Although, inevitably, almost every question eventually led back to Lionel Messi. De la Fuente confirmed that Spain will not use man-to-man marking on the Argentine captain. His explanation included an anecdote that showed just how well he understands the danger of building an entire plan around chasing Messi. When he worked in youth soccer, one of his teams faced a young Leo. De la Fuente decided to assign him a personal marker. The player responsible for following him received a yellow card, and the coach chose to substitute him. According to his own account, Messi took advantage of the change and scored 4 goals in approximately 15 minutes. The experience appears to have taught him a lesson. We are not going to use man-to-man marking on him, but we are going to pay very close attention to him, he explained before the final. The difference may seem small, but tactically it is enormous. Spain does not want to sacrifice one of its players to a permanent pursuit that ends up distorting the entire structure of the team. It would rather control the spaces, reduce passing lanes, and prevent Messi from receiving the ball comfortably near the penalty area. The problem is that knowing what must be done against Messi has never guaranteed being able to do it. Throughout his career, opponents with different styles designed specific plans to stop him. Some tried to surround him with several defenders. Others allowed him to receive the ball far from goal and blocked his connections. There were also teams that tried to wear him down through constant physical contact. Messi found answers against almost all of them. At 39, he may no longer cover the field as he did in his youth, but he still reads matches before everyone else. He can disappear for several minutes and then suddenly find a pass that breaks through the entire defense. He can attract defenders, free a teammate, or decide a play with a single touch. That is why, when De La Fuente says there will be no man-to-man marking, he is also accepting that Spain will need almost perfect collective concentration. The Spanish coach added that Argentina will also have to worry about his players. He did not want the entire build-up to turn into a conversation about how to stop Messi, as though Spain were only going to show up to resist. La Roja has young players capable of changing the tempo, dangerous wingers, midfielders prepared to dominate possession, and a defensive structure that has allowed very few chances throughout the tournament. Lamine Yamal will be especially important, with many identifying him as Messi's possible successor because of his development at Barcelona, his talent, and how young he was when he reached the elite level. De La Fuente avoided feeding that comparison. He said Messi is one of a kind, and that Lamine must build his own path. The intention was to protect the young Spanish player, although the image will be unavoidable. On one side, the player who defined an era. On the other, one of the great figures expected to shape the future. But the final will not be reduced to a duel between two names. Spain will look to control the ball, move Argentina around, and force it to defend for long stretches. Argentina, meanwhile, has already shown that it does not need to dominate possession to feel comfortable. It can wait, hold firm, and attack when it identifies the right space. That contrast makes De La Fuente's statement even more striking. "I would sign up to lose the final" can be understood as a defense of the process, but it could also work as a psychological tool. By reducing the drama surrounding a possible defeat, the coach is trying to free his players from pressure that could paralyze them. Spain has a young generation. Many of its players have never competed in a match of this magnitude. Standing in front of them will be an Argentina side accustomed to high-pressure nights, extra time, penalty shootouts, and competing with the weight of an entire country on its shoulders. The emotional difference could be just as important as any tactical adjustment. De La Fuente wants Spain to enjoy the final, appreciate how far it has come, and avoid playing while dominated by the fear of losing. However, once the match begins, there will be no room for reflective speeches. Spain did not come this far to settle for second place. The coach himself made it clear that his team will fight for the title. His statement was not an early surrender or a confession of inferiority. It was a way of saying that reaching a World Cup final already carries enormous value, even when the final result does not go your way. Even so, the timing turned those words into fuel for the buildup. On the Argentine side, many will interpret it as Spain trying to reduce the pressure before facing the champion. Others will feel that De La Fuente has already started preparing an explanation in case of defeat. On the Spanish side, it will probably be seen as a sign of balance and maturity. The truth will be revealed on the field. Spain will have to prove whether it can maintain its identity when Messi receives the ball between the lines, when Argentina turns every 50-50 ball into a battle, and when the final enters that stage where it is no longer played only with technique, but also with nerves, memory, and character. Argentina, meanwhile, will have to prevent the opposing coach's respect from creating a false sense of comfort. De La Fuente praised La Albiceleste, defended Scaloni, and acknowledged Messi's greatness, but he also has deep confidence in his own players. There will be no man-to-man marking on Leo. There will be no public provocations. And, at least in his public comments, there will also be no destructive obsession with the possibility of losing. "I would sign up to lose the final." That is how the Spanish coach's most striking statement can be summarized, although his actual reflection was much broader. Now only one question remains. When Spain is 90 minutes away from the trophy and sees Messi standing in front of it, pursuing Argentina's fourth star, will De La Fuente still believe that reaching this point is enough?